Alright guys, today I am making a fish curry, Goan style with onion seeds, using some skinless, boneless sea bass that I've got from my local supermarket. Really simple dish to do, anyone can do it, and you're going to need the following ingredients. So I've got one whole white onion, we're going to use a fair bit of ginger, a lime, half a green bell pepper, onion seeds of course, some vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar because that's what I've got, but you can use whatever you want. Mustard oil, this is really important. I'm not using fresh garlic, I'm using this garlic paste that I've made at home. It's like a toom. A can of chopped tomatoes, you can use fresh, I'm using chopped, and some tomato puree that I've got here. And I'm using where is it? I had a stick of cinnamon here which I'm using as well. I don't know where it's disappeared to. And I'm using some cumin, some salt, some pepper, some chili seeds, some turmeric, and some garam masala. Okay, let's get stuck into it. Yeah. Okay, we're going to start by marinating our fish, and I'm just going to take this skinless, boneless sea bass, and I'm just going to slice it into chunks, if I can get it open. There we go. Okay, there you go. So I am just going to look at that. It's beautiful. So I've got these two nice fillets here, and they've been skinned, and I'm just going to pop these into nice, beautiful fillet size chunks. You don't want it to go too thin because you don't want it to flake. We've got to be careful with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straight down, and you want like decent sized chunks. Yeah, so because it's got a thin side on it, I'm going to make it into two chunks. Okay, so like that, and then straight down the center. So you're looking at like 1.5 inch cubes there, good sized pieces. If you haven't got any onion seeds, please try and go and get some, especially for this dish. It'll be well worth it. A lot of the time we tell you to get ingredients and you don't really need them, but for this dish the onion seeds are the star of the show. So please, if you haven't got them, go and get them. Okay, so I am going to start with marinating this to start with some salt. Okay, so we're going to go about half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, just like a bit more. Yeah, some chili seeds, yeah, red chili flakes, and half a teaspoon of turmeric. This is really important. Some garam masala and some cumin. Okay, so first thing we do is add some of our mustard oil, just a drop, just a drizzle, just to coat the fish, not too much. Yeah, and some of our, this is just a teaspoon of that ginger paste that I was telling you about earlier. So we've got this ginger paste, we've made a video of this ginger paste, and it's our garlic sauce video. We'll leave a link to that in the descriptions below. Just give this a nice coating, be gentle with it, just kind of like fold it in. You don't want to break up that fish. Yep. Beautiful. And sea bass is a really good fish for this because it's inexpensive. Sometimes you just want to curry, but you don't want to spend a fortune on fish. You could use salmon, you could use cod, you can go more expensive if you wanted to. You can use monkfish. Monkfish is an amazing fish for curry. But I'm sticking to sea bass today because it's cost effective, it's available, sustainable, and it doesn't break the bank, you know. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so as you can see, we've got some nice color on this fish. At this stage I've not added any chili apart from the chili flakes, no red chili pepper, no red chili powder, sorry, to this. I'm just keeping it simple at the moment. Okay, so that's going to be vibrant. I don't want this curry to blow our heads off. It's just going to be nice and mild. Okay, and that's how it should look. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let that sit and I'm gonna let that marinate and sit there just for a while, and now we're gonna start with our sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are gonna start with slicing and peeling one medium-sized onion. So this is just nice and simple. You can use red onion if you prefer. It's a little bit sweeter. I'm using white because that's what I've got today. And for this it's fine. Okay, so, and just give this a medium chop. Green bell pepper, I'm just going to rip out, it's half a green bell pepper, I'm just going to rip out the core there and just tap the seeds out. Okay, so that's good now. I'm just going to take out the inner membrane because you don't want that bitterness in your curry. Perfect. And we're just going to keep this quite thick. Nice strands, because it just adds that little bit of color and texture to your curry. Yeah. Okay, and that's that. And then we're going to use about a thumb of ginger, and I'm just going to slowly peel my ginger with my knife. Try not to waste too much of it. Now, some people don't like ginger, but I assure you, when it comes to a curry, you've got, some people grate it in. I don't like to grate it in. I like to just leave it in small, tiny little matchsticks. And trust me, you get a little, the ginger kind of cooks out into that curry, soft, and it's not so harsh and not so strong in flavour, and then you get a little chunk of it. Oh, it's so good. But if you don't like your ginger as much as I do, then by all means grate it in and use the juice and get rid of the pulp. But for me, a slice of that ginger, like a little matchstick of that ginger, like while I'm eating the rest of my dish, I love it. So like that for me is perfect. That little cube of ginger, a little slice of ginger, it's like a little sliver. Okay, so now our fish has been sitting, marinating for a while, for about 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight in. I'm going to blast my heat, put this pan on the heat, and we're going to go in with our fish. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to fry off my fish. I'm going to seal it on both sides, and I'm going to remove it from the pan and add it to the curry later on once I've developed my sauce. I'm going to add my mustard oil, and this pan's at a medium heat. Okay, so that pan is ready for the fish with the mustard oil, and I'm just going to add the fish, and you can hear it sizzle slightly. Yeah, and that's what we want. We don't want that pan too hot. Beautiful. Little chunks of fish. Go straight in. And straight away you can smell that turmeric. You can smell that little bit of chili. And put some of the thinner bits on top and some of the thicker bits at the bottom, because you want them to cook evenly. And you can use a flat pan if you prefer. I'm using this because I'm going to cook my curry in the same pan, and I want all those flavours in the curry. Okay, so we're only going to cook this halfway through. Yeah, we don't want to cook this fully because it's going to go back into our curry. and it's going to finish cooking in your curry, and we don't want it to, if it overcooks now, it's going to be too flaky. Okay, we're almost done. That's it. You've got, what's that, 30 seconds, 45 seconds per side. All right, some of those smaller bits can start coming out now. I'm happy to remove them because I don't want to overcook that fish. So take out all the smaller bits now. Perfect. Oh, there we go. So that one's broken slightly. It was fine. It's got to be really delicate with it at this stage because we don't want it to break. One tiny, beautiful piece of fish at a time. Oh, and it smells delicious. Okay, just look at that. As it is right now, that's perfect. Just turn the heat down. As it is right now, that is absolutely delicious. That's perfect. It's exactly what you want. It's succulent, it's juicy, and it's almost cooked. We're just going to finish it off in the pan for that. Okay, so this I'm going to leave my fish to one side. Okay, so now straight into the same pan, we're going to go in with our onions. Yeah, and our onions and our peppers straight in. Okay, and some people like to wait before they add their ginger, because we've got it in good sized chunks. That's going to go straight in as well. Beautiful. Okay, and let's give this just a quick stir. Get that heat up slightly. And any little bit of fish that's kind of caught onto the sides, that's all going to deglaze later, and that's all flavour. That's why we do it in the same pan. Okay, so just look at the colours here. You've got you've got green bell pepper, sorry, not red, ginger and onions, right? Okay, so we need the star of the show. Let me turn that heat down slightly. The star of the show. Before I add the garlic, I'm going to add the star of the show, and that is these beautiful onion seeds. Look at that. So I'm going to put a nice teaspoon of onion seeds in there, and trust me, those are going to start popping soon. And those onion seeds, they're going to release their oils, and their flavour is going to infuse the whole dish. This is Goan style. Okay, let's go in with our garlic paste or toom. I'm going to go in with 2 tablespoons of garlic. Yeah. And let that cook out slightly. And now we're going to hit it with some spice. Just let that garlic just cook out slightly. We're going to go in with a pinch of salt. Okay, and some pepper. We're going to go in with a teaspoon of garam masala, some cumin seeds. We're going to add some more turmeric, about a teaspoon, and some more chili seeds. Okay, give this a really good mix up. And the base, this is probably the most important part of any curry, just the base. We'll call it the tadka, and this just, if this is good, then everything else is going to be fine. If you take your time with this stage, everything else is going to be beautiful. And once you nail this, you'll never buy like a shop bought Uncle Ben's tikka masala type mix in a bowl. You'll never do that, because this is so simple. And once you buy some of these spices, I know initially you think, oh, I'm never going to use them. But once you buy them, you just have them in the cupboard. So you can always whip this up. We are going to add in a nice heaped tablespoon, of tomato puree. It's for colour, shine, and it adds sweetness. When tomato puree cooks out, we can add our tomatoes and then let that have a little simmer. Okay, this pasty consistency, this is exactly what we want. And that's just intense flavour. If you had that right now, if you took a taste of that right now, it'd be too strong, it'd be overpowering. But that's fine because we're going to add our chopped tomatoes, we're going to add some water, and that's going to balance everything out. Beautiful. I'm really enjoying this. And you see, if you look close up, I don't know if the camera's getting it, these little oils, like the oil here, like the water, the moisture coming out, all releasing, bouncing off this thing, separating. Okay, now that's perfect. Now you can see that we're almost ready for our chopped tomatoes. Okay, I'm just gonna very quickly open a can of chopped tomatoes, which I probably should have done a bit earlier, but that's what cooking's about. We just get on with it. Okay, and then straight away in with that. That was a perfect time for this. The sauce, the paste, the tadka, the base of the curry was ready. There's nothing more I needed to do with that. The spices had kind of like amalgamated within the curry. Just let that simmer for just a moment while we add some vinegar. Now you go in with a tablespoon or two. Beautiful. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to add some water. There we go, maybe a touch more. There we go. So that's about a cup of water, and I'm just going to let this simmer. Okay, beautiful. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. It looks stunning. Really happy with this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give it a taste. And now's the time you want to taste. If you need to add anything, add it now, because most of that water is starting to evaporate now. So the flavour of the curry now is how it's going to be before you add the fish. Okay? Because at this point it's just going to intensify. That's amazing. I've got that hit of vinegar, I've got that hit of chili, got the turmeric. I'm going to go in with a teaspoon more salt, a pinch more salt, and a touch more cumin. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this down slightly, and I'm going to add my fish. Okay, so here it is, and I'm just going to, hold on, I want to place the fish in nicely, so I'm going to go in like this. 1, 2. And then when you add the fish, damn, doesn't that look good? Oh, come on. Get the nice fat pieces in the center and the slightly thinner, smaller pieces on the sides, as you don't want them to overcook. Get the nice big ones in the middle. And that one there. And just get that juice that's left over from the fish. That's the main part. It's all flavour. Okay, so now this is on a real gentle simmer. I don't want to stir this too much. I'm just gonna, you know, just give this a little. There. Okay, put it on a really low heat. Just kind of let it do its thing. Okay, so I'm going to take that off the heat. That, for me, that's done. I'm going to run outside and get some of my coriander, and I'm going to come and garnish this, and then we're ready to plate up. The curry's done, it's off the heat now. I'm just going to grab some fresh coriander from my garden, and I'm just going to roll it up into a little cigar, like so. This has been washed, and I am just going to put air. And I see a lot of people, they take the leaves and they leave the stems. Nah, you can't do that, not with coriander, or a lot of fresh veg, fresh herbs. Okay, so just going to give this a beautiful garnish. garnish. And a little bit more. And there you have it. That is my perfect, quick, easy fish curry. Okay, so let's plate up, and I'm just going to pour a little bit into a bowl and taste this beautiful, beautiful, outstanding fish curry. Now I've already, there you go. And that is my perfect, quick and easy Garam curry. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a slight kick of lime, just a bit of fresh lime. That's it. So get some of that fish. You can see all those onion seeds in there. Fish is tender. It's juicy. The succulent is packed full of flavour, but it's not overpowering. Sauce is vinegary, but also sweet. It's got a kick to it, but not too much. It's mellow. It's beautiful. Super well balanced. Amazingly well balanced. That's perfect. Coriander, tomatoes, ginger coming through. Touch of chili, just a little hum of chili. In the background you've got that cumin. But the fish is the star of the show. Just keep it simple. Beautiful. Okay, guys, I'm gonna keep eating this. Before I go, I'm just gonna say you must try this one out. It's absolutely effing delicious. Beautiful.